Good morning.
Good morning.
We're Gavin and Emily, and we converted an SUV to be our own tiny home on wheels. Welcome to our adventures.
Welcome to car life.
So why did we get a car?
Literally do not care. We are pulling into the storage lot now where we've been keeping the bus for the past 2 weeks. I don't see it.
Welcome to our tiny home tour. This is our bed in the trunk. That's our house. Thanks for coming. We ordered this sweet 2-section SUV trunk mattress off of Amazon a couple days ago. And now we live in our car. You can inflate one or both sides. It has little inflatable pillows and it more or less fits in the car. So we pile everything in the front seats, throw down our sleeping bags, and we are comfy.
This morning we woke up in eastern Arkansas, and tonight we will be in New Mexico. But first it's time to deflate our bed, throw all the stuff in the back, and hit the road. Last night was our first night sleeping in the car, and logically so, I was a little bit afraid because it was dark. We were in the middle of nowhere, Arkansas, and you know, Gavin convinced me we were fine. I convinced myself we were fine. We wake up this morning, drive a mile down the road, and there's a prison. Literally right next to where we were sleeping with the big sign, do not pick up hitchhikers. You know the drill. So
anywhere we've ever gone, Emily has been convinced that there are murderers about.
Last night there were murderers about.
Maybe there's a little validation for that this morning, but
I'm picking the spot for tonight. You're probably wondering a couple things. Why we're in a car, where's the bus, why we're in Arkansas. I'll start with the easy one first. Yes, we still have the bus. It is in Las Vegas, Nevada, waiting for us to come back, and that is why we're driving across the country. We are on our way back to the bus. This is the Santa Rosa blue hole. It's pretty crazy to me that there are any blue holes in the United States because I thought they were all in the ocean, but I guess there's one in New Mexico. And this one is part of a interconnected underground lake system, and it comes up here and it's about 81 feet deep, and you can cliff dive and scuba dive. And yeah, it's pretty crazy that it's here. It's pretty crazy just standing on this edge looking down because it's super deep.
That's why you're clinging on for dear life.
So we didn't stay very long at the blue hole because they were closing and it was kind of weird because no one was there. But we are about to turn left onto Route 66, which is super exciting because that's...
Turn left onto US Route 66.
See? So here we go. We've been on Route 66 once before, but it was for like a mile, so this is very exciting. This is the historic Route 66. Doesn't look that special.
Continue on US Route 66 for 1 mile.
Do you see the herd? The herd of cows we're approaching. Oh, it's excuse me. Excuse me. Beep, 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 beep. Literally do not care. Honk. Try and fight me?
Please don't.
We just made it to our camp spot for the night. I'm fangirling a little bit because if any of you watch Eamon and Beck, this is a spot that they recently stayed at, and we just randomly decided to stay here tonight too, so I'm excited about that. But it's a good spot. We've got cow neighbors and no one else is here.
Yeah, it's been just a long day of driving. Not much to show you because we just sat on Interstate 40 for
300 miles.
6, 7, a lot of 100 miles, about 12 or 13 hours today, so we're just gonna set up our sleeping zone in the back, move everything to the front, and we'll probably catch you in the morning.
Yeah, tomorrow will be less driving.
A little bit. It'll only be like 10 hours.
Which is less.
So last night at 3 a.m. I was just finally getting the most peaceful sleep of my life, and I hear, "Hey, Gavin!" And I said, "Yeah?" And Emily said, "While you're awake, I'm getting cold. Can you put the windows back up in the back?" So I got up, I was in my underwear, I got outside in the 40-something degrees, and I put the windows up. But it was all worth it because the stars were incredible last night. We're kind of in the middle of nowhere in New Mexico, and there is no light pollution around us, so check out this picture we got of the Milky Way.
And to be fair, that's not how I remember it happening. He's being a little bit dramatic.
Look ahead, the sea is calm, and I know we've been through a lot, but just wait. Wait for better days to come and carry us like
The difference between driving these dirt roads in the car versus the bus is so huge. Like, I know in my head if we were in the bus right now, everything would be shaking. I would be holding the cabinet door closed. I mean, this is a nice dirt road, but still, the car is way nicer.
hold on tight. I can smell the shore, it's right in front of us if we just hold.
We just entered the Petrified Forest National Park. It's a bit silly to call it a forest because we still just are in flat, plain desert with no trees at all. But we are going to drive through the park. We're not going to stop to do any hikes or anything because we still have 5 hours left of driving to get to Vegas. So we're just taking the park road from the north entrance to the south entrance, and then we'll hop back on the highway.
This vision that I saw is getting closer every dawn. We are dreamers of the shore.
Well, both our camera batteries are officially dead and we have no way of charging them until we get back to the bus, so we'll be filming on our phones from now on. So if you notice a difference, that's why. But we are still in the park and we're almost to the southern end where the giant logs are. I think they're just the biggest petrified logs here in the park. So we're gonna check those out and then get back on the road. How'd you feel about the park?
I thought it was great. It was well worth the drive. It was unique. The petrified logs themselves and their crystals, the painted hills, they were all just very different from a lot of the other like formations and colors and stuff that we've seen so far in national parks. So if you're coming through Arizona on 40, it is for sure worth the stop.
We just stopped to grab lunch before getting back on the highway, and we've recently figured out that Taco Bell has great vegetarian options, which I think I knew, but we've never really tried, and so we're kind of on a Taco Bell kick. And today is Tuesday and we got free tacos, so it's super exciting.
7 years now on this boat.
We are pulling into the storage lot now where we've been keeping the bus for the past 2 weeks. I don't see it.
Hope it's there.
Hope it's there. Hope everything's still attached. I see her. Look at that cutie.
Now we gotta find the keys.
This is Trudge 1 dialing into Trudge 2. We have ignition. I repeat, we have ignition. Over.
This is Trudge 2. Copy that. Let's roll out. Over.
So why did we get a car? Because frankly, having a motorcycle as a second vehicle has not been as convenient as we had hoped. We've been parking kind of way off of main roads a lot of the time on BLM land where it's miles of dirt road before a 55-mile-per-hour highway, and that's just not super comfortable for both of us on the bike. It's also very weather dependent, and so now we have an option that we can use any roads, any weather, and we can comfortably park our bus wherever we want and then take it on adventures.
We've been thinking about getting a car for some time, so we've been kind of scouring the used cars on the internet, and our priorities were having a car that had good all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, off-road clearance, and trunk space to kind of fill with all of our day trip adventure gear and groceries when we run errands in it.
Some of the things we wanted to keep in the trunk are things that we've been moving back and forth from our bed and our driver's seat every time we drive. So we have some of our extra couch cushions that we need when it's in bed mode, our box of like our water hose and dump hose, and something new that we'll be introducing soon.
So yeah, we're super excited to have a new car, and we've been loving it already.
It's so convenient having this to go from our home base and be able to just get around anywhere super easily and take anything we want with us. So off on another adventure.
See you later.
Bye. Love you.
Love you.
7 years now on this boat, and we all know